Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Icenia campaign. Last time, we won the war against Venetia and took some nice land and took a lot of prisoners, which we then played around with for a little while, seemingly causing a pretty dire situation with our Civil War timer, which is still here. However, in between episodes, all of those other characters that were disloyal and contributing to this list aren't on the list anymore, and I don't exactly understand what's going on here. I am still in a precarious situation because of the lower threshold due to tyranny, which fair enough. I have a lot of tyranny right now. There's no denying that. But the insurmountable situation with these foreign characters in my court causing disloyalty seems to have stopped happening. These are all longtime local noble characters who are unhappy, and they're all fairly manageable and close to the threshold. So I can bribe in a couple months. I could bribe any one of these. What are the power levels? Like right here, or power base. So it's 227. Okay, this is where all the power is. It's Akissa Welba, our old friend, and Diawakis Kalatas, who's the family head. So Anno Restes, the physician, his particular loyalty problems aren't actually as important. What I could do, his corruption is real bad as well, because he's crafty. Jeez. So let's see here. How do I approach this? Okay, you're also corrupt, so that's no good. You've got all sorts of crazy traits. So I could fix this problem right now, which I probably should do just to be safe. Although I do have 21 months. I could wait and then do the cheapest option, which is just bribing Anno Orestes. However, Akissa Welba, I could just give her the free hands. That would secure her loyalty. Her corruption would get pretty bad, but she's actually not that corrupt right now. She's also the researcher and fairly old, so there's a good chance her having high corruption won't drastically affect the state of, well, the state. So I think let's go ahead and do that. And just like that, our civil war is averted. Again, I'm not entirely sure where those other characters went. Presumably they're still in my court, but perhaps the game recalculated who exactly has bad loyalty right now. Let's actually search by loyalty. So I am seeing these characters. I guess maybe what the game did is it recalculated and it said, oh yeah, these characters don't have a power base because they're foreign, really seas of my prison, if that's a word. And there's no reason for their disloyalty to cause problems. Now, the state of my save upon loading it here is exactly what I think should be the dynamic, where if you release these characters, they're not very useful to you because they're so disloyal, but they're also not very dangerous to you because they're the former nobles of your conquered nation who are now just free people in your court. So this state, even though they're not helpful for me, is the kind of outcome I'd want to see from releasing nobles. They're disloyal, they're not very useful to me because of that disloyalty, but they're not dangerous with no power base. So it looks as though I just needed to reload the game to fix that, which I think is actually pretty bad and a fairly big condemnation of the way this game's engine works, because I might have, if I had kept playing during the previous episode, I had continued that session, I might have made some drastic decisions to counteract what looked like a pretty unavoidable civil war, but reloading the game and quote-unquote fixing the calculations of things completely changed everything. So it's not the first time that's happened to me in this game, and this is actually a problem with a lot of Paradox games. Their under-the-hood engines are so complicated and overwhelmed with different mechanics that sometimes a reload changes everything unexpectedly. Okay, one other change I also thought about is I'm going to switch around where I send these navies. This is not a very big change, to be sure, but the second navy is going to go to Lugadurum. I do want to have it positioned at this river mouth, not for any specific strategic reason, but just for the fact that it feels like the right idea. This is more of a personal, little decision I've made here. It doesn't matter enormously. And the first navy is going to actually head to Londinium. I've also decided to take a page out of Roman history, I suppose, and actually name my navies, which is something the Romans did for their legions. I don't have legios at the moment, so the best I can do is with the navies. And I think the Roman word for navy is classis, but I'm not, in the lore, we're not actually speaking Latin here in Britannia. We're speaking Iceni or whatever the language would have been called. So we're not going to use any Latin names specifically, so Navy, I'm just going to stick with Navy. I'm going to name the navies after their ports, their home ports, just to remember where they're all located from and to get a sense of I guess, legacy to these pretty expensive parts of my military. So the First Navy, we're going to name First Navy Londinium. Let's see if I can spell this right. Londinium. Do it like this. Navy 1 Londinium. Did that work? Maybe it worked. Not entirely clear. It hasn't changed over here, but it has changed here. Maybe when I unpause, it'll happen. Oh. Nope, it just reset. I'll try that again. Londinium. Maybe, is that how I spell Londinium? Lund. I could have done this, admittedly, before I started recording, but here we are. You have to watch me do this. There we go. Okay, so how do I want to format this? So first, let's see here. I think just because it flows a little bit, or I will use the classes categorization after all, which I think I'm spelling it right for Roman Navy. This is just the Latin word, I think, for fleet or navy, because calling it Navy Londinium or Fleet Londinium or Londinium Fleet just sounds a little janky, but Classis Londinium sounds nice and, I guess, solid. So we're going to go with that, Classis Londinium. I guess because we're using the Latin names for places, we're gonna roll with the idea that we're using the Latin word classis to mean fleet. We're not gonna think about this too hard. This isn't a narrative Let's Play or any sort of role-played series. This is a regular Let's Play. So let me actually go here. Classis 1 Londinium. All right, there we go. And then the Classis 2 Lucadurum. Classis 2 Lug Durum. Did I spell that right? Yes. Because also having these names will be a little reminder of the scope of my naval presence around the channel. All right. Classis 3 Ol Conum. This is just a little fun thing. I don't need to do this, but this is just a little fun thing. I've spent so much time and money making these navies, may as well get a little creative with them. Netum. Alright. We've got our 4 classi all arranged here, so just a little fun thing there. Again, this is a level of roleplay I often do when I play the game privately. It sounds kind of, the way I said that sounded kind of seedy. When I play the game off camera, this is the kind of thing I like to do, especially when I'm playing as Rome. Speaking of which, Rome and Macedon look like they are likely to be in conflict pretty soon. Let's see here. So okay, so especially because Aseros is a client state. No, hold on, wait. Aseros is the overlord of Macedon? Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, this is actually kind of interesting. This nation Aseros, which I don't even know if this is a starting tag, is the overlord of Macedon. Talk about a fall from grace. This is embarrassing. Antigonids have actually held on pretty well, which is interesting. I do have some Paphlagonian madness going on over here, but yeah, all things considered, Macedon, essentially, as far as I can tell, the only starting game like a sort of great power tier nation. I guess Macedon's arguably not a great power, but the only starting game kind of like powerful nation in the area that's lost essentially everything is Macedon. Antigonids are holding pretty steady. Seleucids are holding fairly steady. Rome is obviously doing quite well. Carthage is doing well. Egypt, as usual, is doing well, so what you'd expect. Make sure that I'm recording. Yes, we are. Okay. Now, Texalia wants to trade for wood. I would like to trade wood, but not to Texalia. We'll hold off on that. Unmarried ruler. Yes, this is still an issue. I think we need to go ahead and find ourselves a marriage ASAP. So let's take another look and see what the current state of our character sheet here is. Search by, not name, search by age. Okay, so looking for Hold on, I skipped over it. You have that husband. You're the character I was looking at before, but your finesse isn't even the best ever. Okay, you are my sister, so you're off the table. Your finesse is not the best either. What about you? You've got a spouse, though, and a child already. I think if she was childless, I might plan something devious with that spouse to try and clear her out of that marriage, but not going to happen there. You're a little too young to wait around for. Obviously, you're 12, so you're unmarried. And then, as a reminder, Icenius is 19. I don't want to wait that long. I might get another marriage proposal idea, like I did from one of my formerly disloyal characters a moment ago, or a few episodes ago. We'll see what happens with that. Looks like Diana is doing quite well as the Chancellor. This is having a pretty big impact on the aggressive expansion there. That's pretty good. This is reducing our stability. Having prisoners in foreign lands, that's frustrating. Oh, I did not mean to actually click that. That is not what I wanted to do. Let's go back over here. Can I? No, I'm not going to be able to find them like that. Actually, will I be able to find them? No, I won't. Oh well. Next time I launch the game, I'll see if I can find that character. It's only -0.2. It's no big deal. Anyways, we do need more legitimacy. This is going up though. Is it worth actually? We need political influence to do that though. I could do this to give us reduced war exhaustion, or increasing our war exhaustion loss, which I think is probably worth it. 2 more tyranny for a 35-40% monthly war exhaustion. I think that's probably worth it. War exhaustion is really nasty. Unlike tyranny, which does have a lot of positives, and even arguably aggressive expansion isn't that bad as long as you're on top of not doing multiple big wars in a row. War exhaustion is just flat out bad. I guess it does give you better military experience, but you only get those in chunks at the end of wars. So unless you're timing things really tactically and in a really meta way, that bonus will never be better than the pop happiness and the pop ruler popularity gain. So let's invoke Dewotio. In times of peril, a great leader vows to succeed at all costs, even their own death. All right, very good. We're only going to do it the one time, though. Now, we do have a couple interesting things in our reliquary here, but we don't actually have any holy sites under our control. I noticed there's actually one in Arwernia. Interesting. I guess one thing I haven't really looked at is it worth building a holy site? I guess I should check and see, are there holy sites for the Druidics locally? There's one in Saguntum. It's the holy site for... who's this for? Tutatis. Who, what do you do? Tutatis. Okay, you are the cohort starting experience Foursquare Cross guy. I'm probably never going to switch to this guy. So essentially no relevant holy sites in our nation, which is understandable. But we could potentially found something. Now, there are shrines to all the people that I have as my gods currently, but I need to remind myself how that works. Can I still... Let's see. Okay, so I actually do need to have a deity not have a holy site. So I guess my only option is to wait till one of those holy sites gets destroyed, or if I could go destroy it myself, which is another option. Now, I do have a lot of money. What do I use this money for? I should have thought about this before starting the recording, because now I'm here in the recording having to think this through. What do I use this money for? Well, we're definitely going to take a fairly long break. We're now at the 11,000 manpower max. We've been outside of war, so that's a pretty good thing there. I think actually right now my main roadblock is going to be political influence, because thinking it over, I think... It might honestly be worth switching some of my core provinces back over to convert to assimilate culture. I know I made a big deal about how I'm min-maxing these locations with the province commerce and whatnot, and it's true that it is more lucrative to do it like this. But I think I'd rather just have assimilate culture going everywhere that doesn't need loyalty. That doesn't need more loyalty, because there's a lot of non-Icenia population like living over here and whatnot. Okay, so I think the other thing I need to do is I need to build libraries wherever I have lots of nobles, because that's going to really boost research. Maybe finally address this bad research ratio icon that we seem to have permanently. Let's see here. So we could build a library in Wente Canorum, unless there's some other building we'd want to build here. I guess we could also build training camps. Or, actually, hold on. There's another thing that I saw in a on the wiki that I was reminded about. I do actually have government actions I can do every so often. I could pay money. Looks like Britannia and Wesenius both separately pay money. We get monthly popularity for Wesenius, although Wesenius, because of those gladiator games I just did last episode, he's got pretty good popularity. This requires a lot of political influence. That's not going to work. I could do a war council, which I'm not sure if this will target things that are not on my starting island. I guess I could find out. Or demand oaths of allegiance. Get primary heir attraction. The issue is I need to have a primary heir aside from my sister, who it's fine if she's the primary heir for now. Looks like Boyrix is still here as an heir, interestingly enough. I mean, honestly, my sister, Singatessa, already has a lot of support from most of the characters, so I'm not even really that worried about it. 10 to boost legitimacy? That's it? Interesting. Maybe I should have been clicking this the whole time. We'll see what that does when I reach that point. Or do I change any laws, honestly? I don't think so. Yeah, I think we just have to kind of chill out. But I need to use this money for something before I unpause. Let's see here. I think I can stuff some more slaves in somewhere. Great slaves. 16, okay. Oh, hold on, there's also precious metals down here. Okay. I'm seeing an opportunity for some slave shenanigans. So let's move some slaves over to Granona over here. Pops. Let's see, I can't move them from within Matrionakia because of... I can't move them within... Wait, hold on. Armorica or from Alsasimia because of disloyalty, so that's obviously pretty unideal. I can't move them from Nemneda, so that's our only option. What do I need? I need 17 though. I'm not gonna be able to get that many. Okay, never mind. I'll get back to that one. Any other precious metal? Nope, not really. I think I shouldn't be looking to make more commerce money right now. I think I have plenty of that. I think what I should do is... Let's build up the infrastructure of my core a little bit. So, Noe Omegas, so here's the thing. Noe Omegas would normally be a really good city location, but because I can't have a port, because I think on rivers, you might be able to have one port per river tile. I'm not actually sure how that works, but I can't get one in Noe Omegas, so I'm not going to build a city here without a port. As an inland city, I mean, this would be fine as a city. It's in a good location. But there's probably other, because the thing is, I think I should strive to probably only have 2 or 3 cities per province for now. That seems like probably the smart idea. So what I could do instead is build up a farming settlement here to get more grain, because I can always sell the extra grain. I don't need to keep it around. And I have a lot of slaves that I've collected to move around to stuff. I could build up iron as well. All right, let's build a mine down here in Andy Ritum and get some slaves sent over. Yeah, let's do that. All right. It pops over. All right, so what do we need here? 15 slaves. Okay, so let's actually, hold on. Can we get one more amber? Oh, look at that. We got one more amber from Wagniakis. I think we actually previously did this in Wagniakis, but I forgot to turn this off, so one of the slaves promoted to a freeman, and we lost the extra amber. That's fine. We'll get some extra amber like that. Okay, now back to this plan. Let's move some pops down here. Durwarnum, we've got, oh, nope. Got plenty of people in Durwarnum, so that's fine. Just not from Wagniakis. Londinium, yes, that's fine. Okay, we just need... I guess once we have the mine, we'll just need 12, right? Yeah. Then from Cumulodinum as well. I'd take it to 1, though. Let's do it from Noviomegas. And from Windomes. There we go. So once we have the mine built, this will produce a second set of iron, which it, honestly, having heavy infantry discipline in, because this will add to the capital region, having that bonus just by default is nice. I don't want to trade for iron with one of my slots because it's not a very valuable resource, but I would like to have that bonus, so I may just keep it, to be honest. Plus the production, you know, it's something. Okay, so let's see here. Other cities I can build stuff in. Not so much. I guess I could build forts. No, let's get back to that later. About up here. Okay, let's build. Let's build ourselves a court of law up here. Actually, hold on. Let's focus on where the problems are. Do we have any cities? We don't have any cities in these actual locations, so we can't do that like that. What can we build that produces... do we have anything around here that gives us loyalty? I didn't think so. So, because we don't have any cities around here, we can't really pull that off there. That's fine. Now, I think I'm going to build a court of law in Cortoriacum, even though there's not that many citizens here, because of the loyalty bonus. It's not a very big loyalty bonus, but it does add up a little bit. So, let's see here. Was that worth it, though? I think I should prioritize building courts of law wherever there's provincial loyalty to be concerned with, like up here as well, because it does provide provincial loyalty, so it's going to add up over time. Yeah, okay. I still have a lot of money, though. Do I build a 5th fleet? I mean, let's see, we're at 120 ships right now. What's Rome's ship count? 123. So we could surpass Rome navally at this moment if we wanted to. We could afford it. I think let's hold off for now. No need to go crazy. We're not in a naval arms race with anyone right this second, to be fair. Okay, up here in Dictium, we do have some more building slots. Let's build, let's just have 3 nobles. Let's build an academy, and then a court of law. And over here, we've already got the training camp. Ooh. But I was almost thinking I should build another academy. I think I should just build another training camp up here. There's a lot of population here. These guys are... How much manpower are we getting here? 5 full manpower from just here. Total manpower cap. Okay. How will this affect that? 17%. Allowed 4 more manpower. That seems like a pretty good, if like +4. If that is +4 and that +60, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of thinking through this. So let's build another. I did say before that I'll build 1 academy, 1 court of law, and then just training camps once I have a fortress and dock where I can have them. Okay, you need to become a city. You're nearing that pop cap. So I've been neglecting Petuaria for a while. I do apologize about that. Manawia, you actually finally have room for another thing, but we can't build this? What's the issue? Oh, we're out of money. Okay, next month we'll have enough money. Okay, looks good. Looks good. This will be a very, very slow-paced kind of economic recovery type episode, if you can't tell. But I think I've deprioritized. Ooh, Borix has died. That's a shame. I will take a moment to address this. Borix, you know, he didn't end up being the golden boy that. Who wanted this? I think, was this all the way back in Donwin's time that we talked about setting up Borix as our successor? I think it might have been back when we had just transitioned to a monarchy and we weren't really sure if the succession system would work correctly. We talked about having Borix be our planned successor. Ended up working out fine after a brief reign of Segawax, and it all kind of corrected. But Borix, an important character in the history of Britannia, a long-standing admiral and kind of background character that, you know, he never really got to shine, but he certainly played an important role. So more than the standard minor character dying, I do want to acknowledge Borix here. So rest in peace, the boy. All right, so he was also the husband of the researcher, so I don't know if that matters at all, but what was I just talking about? Yeah, we're just this is a slow kind of recovery episode after the craziness of the war. Okay, arrange marriage. I guess I could just click this button and see what it does. Oh yeah, it opens this up. I just need someone who's not that old. Like, how hard is this? Honestly. Like, and 30 I think is too old. Like, so here's the thing. If Wasenius was 30, I would go for 30-year-old. But Wasenius is 19. He needs someone a little closer in age to him. 30 is fine, like, objectively, but I would really prefer to have a consort who's about his age. Even though Lituus actually does have pretty good finesse, like, relatively good finesse. It's just a matter of waiting for the exact right character to appear here, I suppose. All right, let's go back to this screen here. Sort by age. Wrong gender. There we go. It's just all no good. See, you'd be perfect with your 7 finesse. Yes, you don't have good martial, but Wasenius already has good martial, right? What he's lacking is finesse and charisma a little bit. Zeal is okay. I'm not as worried about zeal, but we need finesse and to some extent charisma. Let's search by charisma. Maybe we're gonna have some better options. Or let's look at charisma. I mean, I'm not searched by it. 10 charisma over here. Okay. See, you're almost of age, so you're kind of promising. 4 finesse isn't gonna help that much because what's Wasenius' finesse? I guess if it's better, because if 4 is better than 2, which is a factual statement that I definitely needed to say out loud. In fact, actually, everything except for Marshall, you're better than him. So, okay, we found ourselves a potential betrothal situation, except we can't literally betroth, which I'd like to do so I could secure this character and she won't get married to a boomer the moment she comes of age, because this is Imperator Rome. So let's watch her closely, which, given that not me personally, but that Wasenius is 19 and she's 14, let's not watch her closely in a weird way. And I mean, there's no way for this not to be weird. We need to marry this child the moment she arbitrarily is an adult when she's still a child at 16. So it's the ancient age. What can I say? This is just the way the world's working here. There's slavery and like mass genocide all over the place. You know, we're not playing this game to look at a better utopian world than the one we live in currently. So when's your birthday exactly? 12th of September, 521. So let's see here. 12th of September. So September 11th, 5, let's see here, 21, so 2 years from now, 37. So 537. So September 11th, 537. We need to watch for that date real closely. Okay, you're a little further away. Langobardia. We'll trade the wood with you. That's fine. All right. Frisia wants wine from Yaborowikia. Sounds good to me. Definitely yes. 22, almost 23 per turn. Again, with her 4 navies, even on low, low maintenance, she's becoming a politician. Okay. She's also the daughter of the 3rd Fleet Admiral. I guess let's call him the 3rd Admiral. So she's the daughter of Tascio Wanus Calatus. All right. So, I mean, I already knew she was a noble, but this is, I guess, good to know. Also, something else I want to do is I would like to befriend Inimicus Urcus. This guy has a very, very promising future. And one thing I like about him is I don't see him as a super dangerous character, on top of just having good loyalty, aside from his one bad loyalty trait of lapsed. Because his other traits aren't very strong, he's just really high in martial. If he were to be some sort of threatening, other contender for the throne, he wouldn't really endanger Wisenius in anything but martial. So let's befriend him. I haven't really done the friend mechanic that much in this series, except for once to get an achievement with Donwyn. So let's befriend Inimicus Urcus. I do think Wisenius does have enough personal wealth to pull this off. Oh yes, he definitely does. And if you don't remember, befriending someone in this game is really just about paying for tigers, or am I misremembering CK3? I guess we'll find out what Wisenius has to do to befriend Inimicus Urcus, who actually is of a similar age to him, so that's nice to see at least. Make friends with this Rising Star Admiral. Alright. Good. Alright, Margana Stewicus has died of dysentery. He was not in the government, but I guess he was in the Dewikai family. Okay, let's see here. You, what do you want from me? You want leather. Okay, that's fine. More money. 104 manpower, that's what I like to see. Those are the kinds of numbers I want to see more of, please. What do we have now? Viviscia, even though they're fairly close to me, I'm not going to conquer this far south right away. You want hemp from Venetia, that's fine. And you want horses from Venetia. Yes. Very good. Alright, things are starting to stabilize over here a little bit, which is great. I'm not going to get much productivity from this region because the issue is these are not Protonic cultures. These are a different culture group, so it's going to take a long time to stabilize, which I just have to kind of remember when I'm conquering stuff, because I'm not conquering Protonics who I can convert over. Okay, here's the tiger that I was alluding to earlier, the exotic gifts event. So we need to make a lot of progress here. So we use Wisenius' personal wealth. I think in an early version of the game that I played a long time ago, when I did these befriending events, it actually used your nation's wealth and not the personal wealth of the character, which this makes a lot more sense, to be clear. So let's not chance it. These are all dice rolls, by the way, and I really dislike the way this game communicates this. This is all a big gamble, which when it says a large amount of progress, I think that just means a higher chance of winning the dice roll. So let's send him the tiger. We're going to be the Tiger King over here. Very good. I think as well that manpower... Hello. I think as well that manpower is based... Like, the manpower you gain is based on the total maximum. So maximum and the amount that you gain seem to have a relationship. Stonehenge attracts travelers. We've seen this event before. We could gain 5 months of manpower for 5 tyranny. Probably not worth it. Our tyranny is already pretty high. Let's not chance it here, although this is helping with aggressive expansion. I actually do think that high aggressive expansion is worse than high tyranny, as a monarchy, to be clear. As a republic, probably not. Probably the other way around. But monthly stability change and, mainly monthly stability change is really bad. As opposed to loyalty of characters, you can manage with the dozen other systems this game has, because this game is a Lovecraftian rabbit hole of systems. Or gain 5 stability. Canetio has bad happiness locally. That's completely fine. Popularity for Wisenius, not important. Gain a little bit of money. I say a little bit of money. That is 111 gold. But that's, 5 or so months of income for 5 stability. Definitely not. We're going to gain the stability. Absolutely, yes. Yes, please. Poor harvest. Don't like the look of this. Lose popularity or gain popularity and gain corruption. I'm going to not take the corruption. Although, actually, he does have righteous. Ooh. I don't think I've looked at his traits for a moment. Now, is this... If I gain 10 corruption, does Righteous counteract it, or does Righteous reduce it to 0 over time? Because it seems to not be a per month tick. It's like a flat amount. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so... It... What? I guess it evens out is what happens here, so now he just... Okay, so... He now has just a flat 5 corruption. Okay. That's actually pretty bad, so I wish... Now that I know about that, that's good to know. So if it's a flat amount from Righteous, it doesn't counteract it, it just cuts into it. It sort of like equals out in the balance. So he's still oppressed. He is harsh now. I should look at his traits. We haven't looked at these in a moment. He is harsh, which does give us better slave output as the ruler, both in... I think I actually did notice this before, because I remember commenting on this. His monthly popularity, though, does always go down, so that's something to keep in mind. Although it's always going down, because it's just so high, to be fair. Then Righteous, we looked at a moment ago. Aggressive Expansion Decay, that's pretty good. And then Tactician, we remember very well when he got this one. That was a very funny moment. Okay. So far, so good. Oh yeah, we were going to build something up here, and then I forgot. Now we have the money, though. We could build a... We only have 1 manpower here. Let's go ahead and build a court of law here. I think because we only have 1 noble versus 3 citizens, I'm going to prioritize the court of law, even though the academy might be a slightly better investment just in terms of the outcome because of the citizens giving you research points. We have more, or the nobles giving research points. We do have more citizens up there. Actually, I think I was supposed to build that up here, wasn't I? Oh well, I'll build the next building in Manawia. Okay, we do have disloyalty problems. They're both creeping up, but it's going to take a while. Part of why the loyalty over here is so bad, aside from just there being, this not being my culture group, even though I've been in these locations for a little while now, is first of all, shifting the capital around so much is big chunks of loyalty each time. And the other issue is fighting the wars in these areas, I think, caused a lot of local unrest, so something to keep in mind there. Okay, so we have another chance to boost things with Inimicus. Could make a moderate amount by spending influence, small amount by spending personal gold and popularity. Actually, popularity both times, or not do anything. I think these events are almost always worth going for, because it's so much better to spend more than you think you need to be safe, and then not have the event just fail, which the other thing about the befriending mechanic in this game through these character menus is sometimes it just fails, and it's not clear at all how that happens, and then it's just a big sunk cost. So it's almost always better to spend lavishly on these events, the best option, the best progress every time you can, because you're just hedging your bets that you're going to roll the dice behind the scenes. Like I've complained at length throughout the series at the obtuse mechanics of this game. This is one of the most poorly explained little sub-mechanics, is this befriending thing, where it's a bunch of dice rolls that are disguised as a progress bar that's invisible. That's just not true. It's not a progress bar. It's a bunch of dice rolls. At least I think so. So we're going to have to spend the influence. That's a shame, but I'm not chancing it with wasting my time on the befriending event. Okay, so what's going on over here? We have a Guthic migration. Okay. A Guthic migration? Oh, hello, Guthonia. What is this? Actually, I'm seeing quite a lot of expansion by tribes into the unsettled area. So Guthonia, are you related to... Okay, so you're the Gutoni. Okay, so this is actually what I thought it was. This is the Gutoni. Are they going to expand into Frisia? Which could be what happens here. Not a terrible thing to happen. Ideally, maybe not right next to me, but I suppose I'm not too scared of you. I may potentially have a... well, what do you think about me, actually? Not very positive, but it's all things that everyone dislikes about me in my aggressive expansion, so nothing too specific to worry about. I'm not scared of them attacking me. That'd be a pretty bad decision by the AI. How about our Werny? What are you up to? You are actually fighting a civil war. Looks like you did not manage your character happiness very well. Where's the Arwernian revolt? Oh, this is the Arwernian revolt? Just in Burgess? Okay, well... I don't know what you did to that city, but I guess that entire city is just fighting the revolt by itself. Go ahead, Arwernia, go ahead with that. Who do you have alliances with? I think I looked at this before. You have Oxibia and Petrocoria. we wanted to look at the region map mode. Yeah, so I think I'm going to just stick to, get out of the way, Armorica and Belgica for now, as opposed to pushing into Aquitania or Celtica or Arvernia, and also, I guess, Transalpine Gaul, where Arvernia does have a presence. Yeah, so if I did want to fight Turonia to clean up my borders, who are they allied with? They're allied with Carnutia. So this would be a nice and straightforward little tiny war. They're in a defensive league with each other. They're allies with each other. Nothing that's scary about this. Yeah, they have no other friends. This would... let me look at the provinces for a moment. This would secure. This would help clean up the southern part of the Eborowikia province, and also in the Turonia province. And then this section of the country Turonia down here, I'd probably just, if I could, I'd free a tag and like release them, or I would just not fully destroy them and let them keep that, because I don't want to, because that is down in Celtica territory. I do not want to go into Celtica. I don't want to share Celtica with Arvernia right now. If Arvernia attacks me, that's a different story. If they attack me, I'll defend myself. I'm not sure I'd want to take territory into Celtica before I'm ready to have more of that infrastructure, but I do think the next war I'll do, I'm not planning to do it anytime soon, but the next war I will do, just to close out this episode with some planning, which you know I love to do, is going to be against Turonia and Carnutia. I think what I'll do is I'll wait, next episode, I'll wait for Bana to come of age, and then try and grab her before some geriatric gets to her first. And isn't the Ancient Age great, everyone? And once that marriage is arranged and my family line is a little bit more secure, then we'll potentially go for this very small war, maybe not even summon all of our levies, take the 4th Navy down the river Liger with a little raid over, I guess Severiacus is our base, to be fair, and just quickly do this war just to clean up the borders in preparation for the next planned war, which is going to be, let's see here, I guess we can plan that out too. The remnants of Meridia, who we, of course, conquered a lot of territory from a couple decades ago, they are allied, let's see here, with Nuria, so that's pretty inconvenient, because Nuria is, well, I guess Nuria is in Belgica, to be fair. So over here, we do not have, I think, any presence in the Nuria province yet, so we may want to hold off on that. Or in the Eberonia province. We are very carefully, like, located up here in the Meridia province and the Frisia province. What I'd like to do, ideally, is to do, in as few wars as possible, some actions to unify my 2 exclaves over here on the coast with each other, just for ease of movement and to really establish this heartland idea for these coastal locations. It'll just clean things up a lot. Getting control of the area around the river Sequania will be nice as well, because that'll give me even more naval strategy options. So Meridia would bring in Nuria, and they're also in a defensive league with Nuria and Suasionia. So this would be a pretty big war for not much territory, unless I want to commit to going to Nuria, which I don't want to. Alternatively, the other side is going after Calatia first. They are in a pretty big defensive league. I'll look at that in a moment. They're allied with Yeborowikia, who do I share any things with? I do share Turonian things with. So I think because they have this section here, going after the tag Turonia and the tag Carnutia first, and then going after Calatia, and then they'd bring in oh geez, this is getting wild. And then they'd bring in Eborikia, and they control this section here, which I'd then be bordering. So that would make sense. Calatia is then in a defensive alliance with Beowakia, with Eborikia, and with Parisia. So basically, whoever I attack, I bring in either this chunk of Gauls or this chunk of Gauls, and I need to decide probably Calatia first, because that at least gives me control of both sides of the Sequania. But before I do that, I will go after the much smaller and hopefully very uncomplicated war, which I keep saying now, against Turonia and its friend. But that will wait for next time. Thank you so much for watching this slower-paced, kind of sleepy episode as I did nothing to avoid my civil war. It just went away on its own. I complained about the game a lot and its mechanics, which I know you're here for. You keep watching, so clearly, what is this, the 57th episode or something? Clearly that doesn't bother you that I do that a lot. Adds character, I suppose. And continue to recover from our pretty ginormous war that we finished. I guess it wasn't a huge war, but our very impactful war that we did just a few months ago. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.